It has been a whirlwind couple of weeks in the UFC, and they're at the apex, there's still fight night cards going on, but it is now on to what's next for the fighters coming out of the last two premium live events for the UFC, and that's where we come in. Here are the fights to make coming out of UFC 324 and UFC 325. So, UFC 324, a couple weeks ago. UFC 325, week ago. Let's talk now about what should be next for some of the key fighters coming out of that. We'll go chronologically. UFC 324, the fights to make. It's obvious. Justin Gaethje against Ilia Topuria. It's a no-brainer. You unify the belts, you move on. Topuria, I can't imagine that all the legal stuff that he is going through right now is awesome to deal with, but sounds like he's coming back. So, you let it roll. And you just, let's unify these titles and let's move on. This doesn't need a whole lot of conversation. Up next, Sean O'Malley. I have him against Petr Yan for the title. In this world, it is not that O'Malley deserves a shot over Merab. It's that I want Merab to take more of a rest. That guy ran the horse into the ground last year. And you could see that catch up to him in the title fight to close out 2025. Losing to Petr Yan. So I want him to rest up a little bit more. You give O'Malley, who is one of your most marketable stars, another opportunity, probably at the White House, and you let Merab kind of build this up a little bit. So I think that's probably the way that this goes. And if Merab wants to come back right away, he gets the title shot immediately. He has absolutely earned it, and you just figure something else out with Sean O'Malley. The person that O'Malley beat, Song Yadong, I have him against Amin Zahabi. Let's go with the Canadian here. We're just missing out on the meme, because these two are ranked 5 and 6 in the rankings. It seems to make some sense. It gives Amin a chance to work his way up into a top fight, or you see what level Song Yadong really is. Like, he has bumped up on that ceiling to try to break through into the top tier a number of times. Let's see how close he actually is to that level, or you give Zahabi one of the biggest fights of his career. Either way, I think it makes a whole lot of sense. In the heavyweight division, Waldo Cortes-Acosta taking on Curtis Blades. Cortes-Acosta, called for it. May as well give him that fight. It's heavyweight. It's not going to be pretty if it lasts more than 45 seconds, but it will at least definitely be a fight. Up next, Natalia Silva against Valentina Shevchenko. There's no one who's ready for a title shot in the division. It's a bit of a lackluster win for her, but I still think you reward her for that victory. And she is still, I think, the most deserving challenger in that division right now. Coming off of that one, Rose Namajunas, I have her against Alexa Grasso. Both former champions, neither have looked overly impressive as of late. So it gets one of them a win, and it really maybe does drive home that it's time to move on for the other one. Up next, I have Gian Silva against Diego Lopez. I don't think that he is there for a title shot over whether it is the Murphy or Evloev winner, but I do think that he deserves a fight to get him close. So Lopez has shown that he's not Volkanovski, but where is he really in this division? I think another fight to someone of that caliber really makes sense. For Arnold Allen, I have him against Patricio Pitbull. A couple solid vets. Chance to see where each other sits. I think that one makes sense. Umar Nurmagomedov. I have him going up against the loser of O'Malley against Yan. Now, the problem is this means Umar is sitting for a while. That's tough. But Merab gets the winner. You give Umar the loser of it. I think if you made Merab fight one more time before getting a title shot, I don't think that's really fair to him. And if you made him fight Umar, that's really not fair to him. I know it wasn't against the most resistance. I thought Nurmagomedov looked really good on a couple weekends ago. He's right there for a title shot. I think he needs one more win to get him into that spot. So now, the winners and losers, I guess, on UFC 325. Not as many here. Alex Volkanovski. He'll go up against the winner of Lerone Murphy, Movsar Evloev. They're not the biggest names, but the winner there is still the clear number one. So that, I think, is where this should probably end up going. And as we talked about before, Lopez against Silva just makes sense to me. Up next, Benoit Saint Denis. I have him against Paddy Pimblett. Both guys trying to break through into the championship level again. This would be a really good proving ground. They're both basically on the same timetable, so I think it does kind of check out. Pimblett isn't just ready for, hey, one more fight and let's get back in. Like, I think Arman Tsarukyan, like that, I think Arman kills him. So, not literally, but I think that you kind of, Benoit Saint Denis working his way up, I think that one makes a whole lot of sense. Dennis Hooker against Mauricio Huffy. Again, both on the same timetable. Huffy, he shot up the rankings with the win over Fiziev. Time for another pretty good test. Dan Hooker, he's not going to love being in kind of a gatekeeper type of a role, but I do think that's kind of where we are seeing him at this particular time. So I think that's the fight to make. And then Fiziev, I have him against Renato Moicano. Both looking for a bounce back again. Moicano, he may want something sooner with his fight against Ortega being called off a couple of times now, but they're both close in the rankings. Both could use a win, and I think it'd be an interesting fight for both of them. So that's what I see coming out of the pay-per-view doubleheader that the UFC had over the last couple of weekends. Where are you guys at? Who do you want to see these fighters in there against? Let me know down in the comments.